This is part 2 of the adventure in Newcastle, and now we go along to a car park with something very interesting. It's got a Kone M series which has had its buttons replaced with Ecodisc buttons, but the logic's still M series. This all looks like an Ecodisc until you see the animation on the indicator. It's got the M series animation. How do they do this? I wonder, did they have to make some custom board to convert signals from the old M series logic to the later Ecodisc indicator, or did this bodge it in? I really don't know. I've never seen this indicator with this animation before. LC never has this animation. So this is very custom, and it's got full intelligent levelling M series style. Doors are original still.
Car light.
What? No, look at that! I've never seen that animation on that indicator before. It's still wide as an M series.
Something's bodged here.
That didn't level like an LCE, that leveled like an M series. So you think this is actually an M series, and they put an indicator, why that indicator up to an M series logic? Yeah, so it is very bodged here, that is not normal.
They think monkey switches are wired.
There's an M series, Kone M series logic in my Sky Disc indicator. We've got a headlamp.
Door here. Door open.
12.
Door closed.
I think we should go on top of these.
10, 6, 4, 2, 0.
Oh, that's perfect.
Door closed.
So if you guys put
Door open. Going down. Door closed. Fourth floor. Doors open.
And now we go to Newcastle Royal Infirmary, and we have a choice. Which lifts best, a generic or an Ecodisc? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Would you rather have this, whatever the fuck that is, or a nice Ecodisc? Oh, I'd love the Ecodisc, but let's just try out this shit. Ugh! No sensors. Lift specialist. They specialise in making lifts and are not as good as an Ecodisc. Now we're going to try the real lift, aren't we, Camla? Is Ecodisc getting better than the others?
the idea of that lock.
Because priority override lockings is a setting in the LCE. Does it override?
It's not in priority, you've got to wait until it goes to 4 to get it.
And a lot more efficient than the other lift. It stops so much quicker. Let's try now. Priority doesn't override lockings, so
No, it does override lockings.
it's very efficient. And this one's so much nicer than those generics. And it's faster actually, that's a lot faster, and the levelling is so much better.
1, 2.
No feed-all, sadly.
Doors
They're
open.
still much, much quicker. And now we go to our main lifts.
What?
Oh,
90.
No, I've numbered the wards. That's always a bad sign when they do that.
Going up.
Priority service.
Ecodiscs just seem to love us so much, isn't it?
Priority rides.
Doors open.
A nice atrium. It's quite a nice atrium. And we search all over this hospital to try and find an old lift. We even go to the old part of the hospital, but we couldn't find anything old. Well, we have that. Or we have non-existent express.
Actually got me really excited then.
It's non-existent express. Fire alarm doesn't work.
I'm excited, I was thinking, oh my god.
Second call point not in use. Not bothering with that, it's too shit. There's another one round here. Lift number 3, so number from this end of the hospital. They've kept this room looking super posh because they want to impress the people posh people that come in, want to impress them under this posh room that stinks of old person. But they don't want to keep a nice old express lift. And now we go to Newcastle High Street and along to Waterstones. This is a nice old building, but will it have an old lift? That is a good building. Actually, that is a very good building. Well, it wasn't a Waterstones originally. I wonder if they've kept anything good in here. Actually, they have. Looks nice, doesn't that doesn't look nice. Going down! This lift has digital lift controls logic.
No, we're going back up now.
Floor 0.
You got a roller.
Right there, now it thinks it can go down.
Oh, so that's how you do a reversal trick on digital lift controls. You've learned something new today. You did a safety brake it while it's levelling.
Floor -1.
There we go, reversal trick. You go up and down all day. And now we go to Fenwick's. This place used to have some really epic express lifts, but they've been horribly modernised. Oh, I've ruined it. Thames Valley.
Stick with the heating.
Oh no, I don't have a key for that.
I don't have a key for that.
Oh, I Leicester'd it. I brought Thames Valley it. I've Leicester'd it. Yeah, that's the express panel for their express. Oh, this is boring. Oh, my express back. And then, when we're looking around Fenwick's, we found an original third-generation express with full intelligent levelling, and the logic is still original, even though buttons have sadly been replaced and it's been stentigated. It's not original. I'll get back out again. No, I'm getting back out. It's not anything original.
No, it ain't. What about...
Oh, actually, yes, that is original. They stentigated it, but look, that's what buttons look like originally, just like that.
Doors closing.
Shut up, Stentigate, you have not improved this lift.
Doors opening. 3rd floor. Doors closing.
It's express because when you press the button, it...
They're so efficient. That's almost M-series efficiency. Why did this model not get installed much?
Doors open.
That's M-series. That's like compete with M-series in efficiency. Why do the best lifts get modernised? And now we go to the centre of Gateshead. And there's a climbing frame for us to climb. Oh, isn't that nice of them to provide this climbing frame? And now we go to the cinema here. Now, I rarely go to cinemas nowadays. There's just nothing in them I really want to watch. Modern day films all seem to follow the same few cliches and stereotypes, and I don't know, nothing really seems to inspire me. But despite that, the reason why I went to a cinema is to see if we can sneak into it. So, there's an Ecodisc in this cinema. There's a secret locked floor, the 2nd floor. But priority does not override locking, sadly. And the logic can is on the top floor, so we can't enable that setting. So we could get on top of this lift, but it's too many staff about to do that. Maybe it's an easier way to get up to the cinema for free. So first we walk up to a member of staff checking tickets, and she tells us we're not allowed in without a ticket. So we then go along to the fire exit, and no way could this be this easy. You pretty much just have to follow the fire exit round in a certain route. And then you've got into the upper levels of the cinemas for free. No, we have not seen this bit yet. Ooh, that is a double helix. It must be our way. So let's go into a cinema. And all the movies look shit, so I couldn't be bothered watching a movie. So let's now go down to the lower level of the cinema and go back out past that member of staff who asked for our ticket. And she looked at us but didn't bother to react. She probably didn't get paid enough to actually care that much.
Ah, so that's the way, so we can take that staircase again. We'll have to walk people through.
And now we go along to a glass lift in the middle of the city centre. Oh, that's me and John's speciality. A glass lift where everyone can see us surfing it. Now.
Got it, I've got it.
Go, go, go. They're watching! You're watching the lift surface show. A nice Ecodisc. Now we go back up on the Ecodisc. That's how you surf a glass lift. Tick-bonk. Not much it's smooth. Whee!
Do you think they must have thought we were mad?
And now we go along to a car park with an old lift that's been modernised by Kone. Crystal Palace architecture. Crystal Palace architecture. This is another one of Kone's LCE blind VF modernisations. Since Kone did not make VF drives that could run non-synchronous motors, Kone's VFs were only for synchronous Ecodiscs, so I use Omron blind VF. And LCE can actually interface with basic circuits with just 3 circuits: the direction circuit, the slow circuit, and the fast circuit. And these 3 circuits go into blind VF, and it just runs like a 2-speed lift on blind VF.
Is that motor room or what?
I think yes, it is. Omron!
Motor.
But don't you think that levels well, considering that's the same VF as Leicester uses? Same shitty blind VF, it doesn't look. Look at that levelling when Kone runs an Omron. Pre-doors, see, Kone know what they're doing. Kone knows how to set up Mr. Omron to run better, despite the fact Mr. Omron's completely shit. And when I got home after filming this video, a friend from Germany actually found a manual for this. It's got some interesting stuff in it. There's actually more settings than I thought. On the LCE itself, you can't actually edit the settings of how fast the lift can go, because as a blind VF, there's no communication between the LCE and the VF. So all of the speed settings you set up on an Omron like you would do on a generic lift. But on the LCE, I was surprised how many settings there are. There's loads of stuff to do with when it sends a fast circuit to VF, when it sends a slow circuit to VF. You never think an LCE would have so many things. And it's also fine tuning of when it switches a fast circuit to the slow circuit. So this inverse using a blind VF is so much better than, say, a Leicester controls. And let's get on top of this lift. Door closing. Beep.
Doors open. Doors closed. Doors open. Third floor. Doors open.
And we now go into a hotel. And we went along to the service lift. Look at this really nice 1980s Otis. We've just got to get on top of this. Pre-door. What's on there for, do you think? Pre-door. You've got French doors that close when it's a fire. Those are very French. And we now go along to the main lifts. These have been modernised and look utter shit. We weren't going to bother getting on top of these, but I thought, well, let's just open up the doors, take a look. And then, on top looks really good. You wouldn't have thought a lift that looks this shit would have such a good car top. The entire interior's been replaced, but on top it's still got the original big, heavy-duty 1980s Otis chassis. Oh, on top this lift's much better inside the lift. Fuck, this is well built. And when we got off the top of this lift, there's someone who was staying at hotels waiting for it. Oh dear, he saw we got off the top of the lift. Right, what excuse should we make? Well, in the spur of a moment, John said, that lift broke down, we had to climb out the hatch to get out. That is so obviously bullshit, because firstly, the lift doesn't have a hatch, and secondly, as soon as John shut the door, the lift immediately went back into service, so the lift clearly wasn't broke, and we were filming at the same time, so it's so obvious we were lying, and the person sort of half believed us. He believed us just enough so we were able to get away without him going on full force questioning mode.